What's up, guys? What is up? Welcome back to another episode of Deck Talk Podcast. And we're going to be getting a little nutty today. And I'm pretty sure they probably heard that once or twice. But we're going to go at it. And we got some questions that we're wanting to ask the Nutt brothers. And I mean, because this year they have had one heck of a year. But before we get going, let's take care of some business. You ready to hook into some serious bass? Grab Bruiser Baits, the tournament proven soft plastic and hard plastic or hard baits that is proven to put fish in the boat every time. Uh, Bruiser Baits, fish the best. Get yours at bruiserbaits.com. Make sure you use the discount code DECKTALK10 and enjoy your baits. But with that being said, guys, I'm Colin Burnett.
Nah, Pappy J, Colin, man, I've been waiting on this one right here, buddy.
Heck
I
yeah.
mean, this has been the staple of my year right here. Just absolutely been waiting on it. We got the Nutt Brothers on. I mean, two champion. I mean, you can't get no better than that.
No, no. So, with that being said, we have twin MLF stars, rising bass fisherman sensation Carter and Dylan Nutt, fresh off big wins on the water. These Nashville brothers are dominating the pro series. So let's dive on in. So, what are you doing, guys?
Oh, I'm just out here fishing on Pickwick. Just flew down from New York yesterday and managed to get out here with my buddy, and we're tearing them up. Just pulled in a pocket and sitting in the shade right now because it's beaming hot down here.
Man, I tell you, I was out on Chick here this morning and till probably about 3 o'clock, and I'm telling you, and it was baking. Everything, it was all that I could do just to stay hydrated out there. It was rough.
Yeah, we're definitely trying to stay hydrated. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
feel good. I'm up here in New York. I'm on the St. Lawrence River,
yeah.
and
So
we had a storm blow through a little bit earlier, and it feels real nice.
yeah, we don't need to hear that kind of nonsense, Carter. so, but
Yeah, we're down here, but we're down here baking in the South, and he's just up there basking in the sun.
yeah,
I know.
Hmm.
and just smashing some smallies as
Oh
you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
for real, for real.
But so what what has this year been like for both of y'all? I mean, because Carter, I mean, you kind of got the little bit of the spotlight here back in March with winning, the Bassmaster or the Collegiate Classic, and then your brother said, "Hold my beer, watch this," and just he said, "I'm going to hold the real Classic trophy," and
Right.
and put the Ray Scott trophy up over his head. So, what has this year been like for the Nutt brothers?
It's been extremely special. I mean, to have a year like what we've had, I mean, has been absolutely incredible. And for Dylan to win the classic was just like, the capstone of a fishing career, and for him to do it so early, and for me to be there to see it happen. I mean, it was just incredible.
Yeah,
I mean, to watch my twin win the Bassmaster Classic was, the greatest moment of my life so far.
Mm.
yeah. Now, what you have the biggest chore to do though is to come back and be able to say that not just one Nut brothers got it now both of us has got it. So I think you probably got the harder task on hand with that.
Yeah, he's definitely made it look pretty easy, and it's it's made it quite difficult keeping up with him. I mean,
Well,
he's just been on a tear.
Lucky at
well
Douglas beat me, but it was just a couple. So still feel good about
so so what I want to talk I do want to talk about the classic, Dylan, but Carter, I want to talk about that win on Watts Bar for one to kind of start off the season. I mean, you kind of just done your thing and was able to perform and be able to get it taken care of.
Yeah, so I actually wasn't supposed to be there. Trip Berlinski and Bryce Demaro, they won the points in the Bassmaster College Series and the overall
Right.
points, and so that qualified them to be there. But since Trip went on to win the college bracket, Bryce got to pick a partner to fish with him, and so I was lucky enough to be chosen. And me and Bryce Demaro, we fished the College Classic together, and it was an incredible experience, to be able to fish the College Classic. It's such an exclusive tournament. There's only, I believe there was 10 boats that competed in it, and
Right.
out of all the college anglers, I mean, there's 400 or 500 college anglers that compete to make it there. So to be able to be a a featured guest, I guess, to in the tournament was pretty cool, and then to be able to win was incredible. Me and Bryce knew that we were on the fish to win, and the conditions changed a lot during the tournament. And with Dylan doing what he did on day two of the classic, we were watching Bass Live all day, so we were kind of a little bit more focused on Bass Live than we were on fishing. Um, but we had no idea that we were going to win with what we had. We figured it would take at least 20 pounds to win, if not a little bit more. And
Right.
I believe we only had 15 and a half pounds. Um, but to be able to win with what we had, is extremely surprising, and we were keyed in on Bass Live all day, so it was an incredible day to watch. Dylan did what he did on day two of the classic, and
Yeah.
yeah, it was great.
Yeah, and with that being said, of what he did on day two, I don't think Berkeley's been able to keep that. What is it? The slab series minnow in
The
stock
lab
since then.
series.
Yeah.
Just caught him on it just a minute ago. Caught a
Yeah.
couple 5 pounders on it. Pretty awesome.
So what is it, Dylan, about that makes it to where, I mean, because it seemed like you were, I mean, everybody was kind of getting bites, but your bites, they seemed like they were kind of holding on to it a little bit longer than.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
what is it about the uh that slab series that kind of helped you out on that?
Yeah. So the main difference between what I was doing and what a lot of the other guys were doing, was a lot of the other guys were fishing areas like they were fishing a lot of the same places. I was a little bit different. That I mean, there was fish around me, but the main deal with that lab series is a lot of other people were throwing a minnow bait. They'd get a lot of short strikes where they just
Right.
right away. And with that lab series, it's got a whole different mix between scent. It's a whole different bait than a lot of other scents. And whenever I was like, after the whole bait, um, they like that formula, but it's a lot, a lot of right.
Yeah, that's and that was one thing, like when with being on the Tennessee River, being in the Chattanooga area, I was hoping that the weather would have cooperated, and because we were starting to see the beginning stages of that pre-spawn to some, we actually had some fish that we were catching on Chickamauga the week before that were actually up on bed and stuff like that. And so I was hoping that that would have came into fruition. Which, I mean, you were fishing shallow,
Mm-hmm.
um, and so I was glad to see that. And I think that kind of, with you fishing shallow, it kind of took the edge off of people saying, well, the forward facing sonar deal and stuff like that. You were still able to kind of show a different feature of what the forward facing sonar was could do.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was super cool. I didn't see a lot of the fish that I was throwing at. Uh, just areas that looked like they were holding fish, but it was a blessed week, and it was unbelievable.
Yeah. Now, do when y'all are preparing for a tournament, well, I mean, like what Carter, like what you are. So, what is your mindset going into, especially if it's a turn or a lake that you have never been to? How do you prepare yourself for going on this on that lake?
Yeah, I mean the main thing for Carter and I mean we definitely do a lot of research before we go to a lake, and whenever you get there, it seems to be the biggest key just to have an open mind. You know, a
Yeah,
lot of people kind of set game plan whenever they go somewhere, and they're not really able to adjust to the either different conditions or you know the fish. It's just we just keep an open mind and just go out there and go fish, and you know we either catch them or we don't, and you know, it's not the end of the world either way.
right, right.
Yeah.
Now, uh, and one thing that I've really enjoyed watching both of y'all, um, especially this year, is the I forgot what lake it was, but Carter was up. What was it? By some barrels and stuff. I take it was by a dam and stuff. And then Dylan, you came in and what was it? That first or second cast you yanked
Yeah,
on a
first
big one.
cast.
First
Yeah,
cast,
Yeah, that
yeah.
was a lake. That was I only had four fish. I was stuck on four pretty much all day,
yeah,
and I kept losing fish, and I think that was the last 2 hours of the tournament. I pulled up on Carter, and I had caught some big ones there earlier in the day, and then he was like, "Yeah, come on in." First cast, caught a 3.5 pounder, and then that put me up to 17 pounds, and never cooled the rest of the day.
yeah.
But
And
Carter ultimately ended up beating. That was super cool for him to get a big win like that, and even more cool for me to be second to him.
yeah. And
Oh
so
yeah.
and another thing, what was it? Was it Mother's Day? I think it was a holiday or something
Yeah,
like that.
it was Mother's Day.
And
Yeah,
and to see Keith Poche kind of, he's like, let me go on up and to where both of y'all can be up on the stage at the same time. And we had him on, and we told him, man, that was the coolest thing that I had seen. You know, I mean, just um, to let both of y'all be up there, and especially for that. To have both of the Nut brothers up on the stage was, I thought that was a pretty cool deal.
yeah, absolutely. That
Yeah,
was
it was
super special.
great.
So
Our mom was super happy.
I
oh,
bet, I bet.
I'm sure she was. I mean, you know that right there was a huge Mother Day gift. That you know that I mean I couldn't imagine um,
Hmm.
the feeling that she had watching you two guys up there. You know, and accomplishing what y'all just accomplished. I mean that's a huge thing for any parent, but especially a mother. With y'all, you know, being brothers and growing up together since you were kids, obviously, and on the Tennessee, what are some of the earliest memories or lessons from the water that shaped you both into anglers that you are today?
Yeah, I mean we learned a ton of lessons super early on. You know, we did it our whole life. You know, it's super important just to keep going. You know, whatever it is in life, if you just try hard at it, you, you'll God will bless you in His ways and take the right opportunity. The main thing we've learned is just keep your head down and keep, because we're all put on this world for a reason, and we'll figure it out.
Yeah,
Yep.
that is
Did y'all did you come out? I mean, both of y'all like at an early age say, okay, you know exactly what you wanted to do, and that was to be a bass fisherman professionally.
Yeah, that was kind of Dylan's plan early on. I was always super enamored with the fish. And Dylan would catch one and I would play with it, and I was, enamored by the fish itself. And then once we started to get more into the tournament, competition, that's whenever I got really into to the fishing side and the tournaments. Um, and it's been history from there.
heck
Yeah,
yeah.
Oh,
absolutely.
So do y'all prefer? And I'm going back to Middle Tennessee area. Do y'all prefer to fish Old Hickory or Percy Priest?
Oh, we like Percy Priest a little bit better.
Depending on
It's
the time of year.
Yeah, time of year for sure. The summertime it gets a little tough out there, and Old Hickory's fun. You know, you go flip some grass or fish some docks, whatever, and catch some fish. Where Percy Priest seems to catch a lot of little ones, but in that winter time of the year, Percy Priest is awesome,
Oh
and
yeah.
we time out there. There's a lot of really big fish there, and it's kind of slept on. I'm waiting for the next tournament to go there on the big circuit that one of us can.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on that. There is some big fish, and you can if you find them schooled up, you can just sit there all day long and just yanking them up.
Mm-hmm.
So I know my I've got a cousin that lives over there by Four Corners, and I'll go out with him on Priest, and he likes to hybrid fish, and so we have
Yeah,
we've gone over there as well and yanked up on some hybrids.
yeah.
So
There's a ton of hybrids. It's super fun to catch them.
yeah. So do y'all prefer like a river system or like a highland reservoir?
I'd say a river
A lot of,
system.
but yeah, definitely more fun. I like when the current kind of sets the fish up. They're a little bit more predictable versus bottom.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
with both of y'all being anglers for University of North Alabama, has the collegiate scene or fishing in the collegiate, has that helped y'all as you moved up into the like the pro series and stuff like that?
Yeah, absolutely. The collegiate anglers are probably some of the best anglers in the world. And the competition is super stiff. Not only do you have some of the best anglers in the world, but you got two of them. It's just it's super dynamic with the format competition with collegiate unmatchable, and it's definitely something that changed our not only our careers but also our lives.
Yeah. So how did y'all pick University of North Alabama? Because like right up the road, you got Bethel from where y'all grew up, and in which Bethel has a pretty decent team in themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. Bethel's got a phenomenal program. Um, it just I guess it wasn't the right time for us. We chose North Alabama because a lot of the other schools like Bryan, Montevallo, Bethel, and Carson, they got a and that was kind of the main goal for us is you want to experience possible traveling around. That's
Yeah,
a ran organization. Carter's a big president, so we learned a lot there. Kind of not only how the fishing team operates financially. So it was a huge learning experience for us to be super hands on versus other schools you wouldn't necessarily be at. I got it, it, it worked out great for us. And I'm happy
yeah,
all home.
yeah, and so because we had last week we had Bank Shaw on, and we know that he's a good buddy of y'all's, and he and he's there with y'all too at University of North Alabama, correct?
Yeah, he is.
Yep.
We were roommates for the last 4 years. We lived in Banks and we were on the same high school fishing team back in high school. But Banks is an unbelievable angler and it's super special to see what all he's done as well as us in the short time that we've been able to call ourselves professionals.
Yeah, yeah, and um, that's one thing. Like when we had him on, uh, people in the Chattanooga area knew about Banks and knew about y'all. And I was telling people like I can remember years back to where Banks would go and fish like a little dog fight, and he would just be in the boat by himself, and he would just dominate and take money from old men and just laugh
Yeah,
about
fishing
it.
out of a John boat too. He had a cooler as a live well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 So, um, what is your favorite way if you only had one way to catch a bass? And what is your favorite way to catch a bass?
Man, that's a great question. I love catching them however they're biting, to be honest. I mean, I've got a
Right.
lot of different techniques that I like doing. I mean, top water's fun, catching them on a big swim bait, big crankbait, really anything out deep. Scoping them's awesome too. I mean, I just love catching bass.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with Dylan. Whatever they're biting is my favorite way to catch them.
Now,
Hmm.
now in the summertime, let's scenario on uh let's just say on a river system. Now, do y'all like throwing big spoons?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. A big, a lot of bites.
Oh yeah, and to me, there's nothing like that little hit that you'll get, or it's just that little thump when they hit it, and I tell you when I need to do it more out on Chickamauga and Nickajack. But the y'all know just as well as we do the ledges on Chickamauga. You got to take a number and wait your turn to be able to fish them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So,
absolutely.
so
I got somebody who said, "Hey, Carter and Dylan, Evan Rutherford fishing." He says, "Hey guys, he just wanted to give you a shout out
Heck yeah.
on that."
What's going on, Evan?
I
so
know I kind of got a off the wall kind of question, and you know, maybe just maybe Bass or somebody can make it happen. Let's just hypothetically say that, you know, you guys being from Tennessee, and if there was an opportunity to have a major event on all or most of the Tennessee lakes around Tennessee, what would it mean to you guys to lock them up, being from Tennessee?
Man, it'd be super cool. That's kind of like what the classic was for me. And the college classic as well for Carter is that's our home state, and you know we were blessed being able to fish a lot growing up, especially in high school in the time frame where we really started to um, called home. We saw those tournaments around there. It's cool most of the time, but it's super. One tournament I wish I was the big that that was cool and all everybody qualified.
so we have a question from another question uh, from a guy named Steve. He said, "What has been the craziest thing that has happened to y'all out on the boat?"
Man, that's a tough
I
one.
think uh, I think on Chickamauga we had something pretty crazy happen.
Yeah, yeah. That's you can tell that story, Carter. That was crazy.
Yeah, so shortly after Banks won the high school national championship, our the end of our junior year of high school, we were night fishing with him and a buddy of ours who fished for Bryan College at the time, and we were down around Vincent Slough on Chickamauga, and we heard this like scream in the we just it sounded like a woman screaming off in the distance, and we ran down the bank, and Banks had a spotlight on his boat. We were kind of shining it on the bank. Then we heard the scream back to where we came from a little bit, and we ran a little bit closer, and he shined the spotlight on the bank, and there was this 16-year-old guy who was standing at the bottom of a bluff at 11:30 at night, just screaming, throwing his hands around, and Do what, Dylan?
Throwing rocks at us and telling us
Yeah, we went up to try and help him, and we are like, hey, you need to get on the boat, and he started throwing rocks at us, and he was saying that he was going to rape us, and we were like, whoa. And
Whoa.
so we called the TWA and the police, and about 45 minutes later they showed up, and we just like right before the TWA got there, this dude scaled the bluff in like 3 moves, just went up the bluff, and it took the TWA like a solid 10 minutes to figure out how to get up there, and we just see flashlights going back and forth across the ridge line and just screaming, going back and forth, and them chasing him. And
no.
about 30 minutes later, the TWA guys come back down, and they're just dripping in sweat, and they got him. But he it was one of those things to where, like, if we weren't there, he could have drowned in the water, or something
Yeah,
happened. It was absolutely insane.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's all. That's
Yeah.
almost as crazy as we had Clifford Perch on, and he told us that he was in. I want to say it was Louisiana where they were at, and there was a dude that broke out. He was in jail, but he had surgery, but broke out of the hospital and was running from the police, and he and was like swam out to his boat while he's fishing down this bank, and he said that he helped the dude get onto his boat, but then he realized like the dude had like ripped. He had like his stomach had where they opened him up for some kind of surgery. Like he ripped his stitches, and he's like, "Man, I had blood and everything like that all over my boat." And he said, "And it wasn't from fish." I was like, "That's one of the craziest things I've ever heard."
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty insane.
So, did and and correct me if I'm wrong. Did y'all go out here not too long ago with Caleb Bell?
We did.
I thought I had seen. He's a good buddy of ours, and I had thought that I had seen both of y'all out on the water with him.
Yeah, us and Banks went fishing with him not too long ago.
Yeah,
And one of
yeah.
our uh, back in high school.
So they he. I'll tell you one thing. Now talking about that was a boat full of hammers right there because with the three of y'all and then Caleb, and he's a hammer in his own mind or in his own right, not
Oh
mine,
yeah,
but in his own right.
absolutely. He's a stick.
So what is y'all's goals for the next 5 to 10 years that y'all are wanting? Have you got your mind like goals set for this is what I want to accomplish for here in the next 5 to 10 years?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely we just you can set goals, but really we're just gonna keep doing our thing, keep fishing, and whatever God presents us with is the opportunities that we're gonna have for the future. So we're just gonna keep doing our thing and love to keep bass fishing, and whatever happens happens. But it's the good Lord brings everything.
Yeah. So Pappy, you got a question?
Um, well, yeah, but I kind of want to wait a minute on
Okay.
this one. But so you guys have racked up multiple wins and huge bags in a short time, dealing with your back to back Toyota Series victories and the Classic title. What roles does mental toughness or staying positive play when things aren't biting or when you're in a pressure situation?
It's huge, huge. I mean, we've won more tournaments in the last 30 minutes than we have in the first 30 minutes. I mean, it's uh it's incredibly important to stay mentally tough and to stay in it all day, because it can happen in the last 30 minutes just as easily as it can happen in the first 30 minutes. And you just got to
Right.
stay in it, because if it's going to happen, it's going to happen, and you can't really control how it goes.
So
Yeah.
I mean, balancing and and I'm sure you with you being on the college series and stuff like that. How do you manage your time? Because I'm sure time management is huge for you
Oh yeah, it's huge. I
being in
mean,
school, fishing and all.
yeah, I don't really worry about school much. I kind of do that whenever I'm home,
Okay.
which has cost me a little bit and irritated some professors. But whenever I'm at
Yeah.
a tournament, I try to not open my computer, which is not good advice for any college anglers out there. Um, but I try and focus on fishing whenever that's the task at hand, and whenever I got to do school, I do school. But I try and do school as little as possible and fish as much as possible.
Yeah.
So
So it's one of those do as I say, not as I do. Then.
yeah, it's one of those, rather ask for forgiveness than permission kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. Yeah,
Right.
we're
So
definitely tracking on that one.
Yeah.
so yeah, we've been known to do that as well. But we I started asking you a question before we got started. Wow, because Dylan wasn't with us yet, and I guess he lost service or something like that, but he'll be on back. But we talked to Dylan at the Classic and or during media day, and we interviewed him, and we asked him which one of the Nutt brothers would win if it was just a head to head 1v1 tournament, and they had, let's just say, 3 hours to fish. Which Nutt brother would win? And he kind of chuckled and he said Carter's good, but he said I'd destroy him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it'd be pretty even.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. It's the to see both of y'all out on the boat or out fishing tournaments and stuff, and how y'all approach it is just phenomenal. And I think everybody that's fishing in the series with y'all, not that they need to be worried, but they definitely need to keep an eye on the Nutt brothers.
Hmm.
So, um, what is what has been your favorite lake to go and fish?
God, I don't know. I mean, as for right now, the St. Lawrence and Lake Ontario. I mean, I've been up here for 4 days, and it's been some of the best fishing I've ever experienced in my life.
Heck
Um,
yeah.
Wow.
uh, I really don't know. I mean, I everywhere is a little bit different. I really enjoyed Santee Cooper. That place is insane.
Yeah.
It's the best lake for big fish that I've ever been to. But I haven't been to Texas. But Santee Cooper was insane. I think if it would have been a 3 day tournament with scope all 3 days, the top 10 would have been well over 100 pounds for 3 days. I mean,
Ooh.
it was
Yeah.
absolutely ignorant. The second day of practice, um, I had almost 38 pounds in my best five, and Dylan I think he had 36, and there was three other guys staying with us that had over 33. Um, and it's just it that lake is phenomenal. I mean, it's absolutely incredible. I mean, I think every time there's a big tournament that goes there, I think I'm gonna try and fish it because it was just an awesome experience.
Yeah.
Right. Now I
Now,
kind of got an educational question right here, and and I guess it would be for guys that might be struggling in one area of the fish, and maybe even some youngsters, how maybe high schoolers or even younger than that. But for the listeners who want to improve on the deep water ledge fishing game, what are some key baits or maybe setups or patterns that you rely on that consistently produce fish?
I mean, I would have to say, something to drag with, whether that's, a Carolina rig, a football jig, a big shaky head, something like that, a Nico rig. and
Mm-hmm.
then some kind of a moving bait, whether that's a crankbait or a swim bait or a spoon or a hair jig or something like that, and then a minnow. That's kind of the three main approaches. Some kind of a moving bait, something to drag, and then something to scope with.
Mm-hmm.
I would kind of focus on those three different categories, um, and really just spend a lot of time on the water. Spend a lot of time, utilizing your electronics. Your side scan, down scan, mapping. It's all incredibly important when locating those offshore fish. Um, and they're not all going to bite. There's a lot of places where they've been beat up all summer and they're really tough to get to bite. But when you find that school that is either biting or they're fresh and they haven't been messed with much, it's one of my favorite ways to catch them. Because you can get right in a hurry, and there's nothing like idling over a big school of fish and turning around and catching them every cast. I mean,
Right.
it's super
Right.
special, and especially to be able to fish like that at Douglas. Where me and Dylan were first and second in the pro circuit. I mean, that was such a fun tournament, and
Mm-hmm.
it's an awesome way to catch them.
Yeah.
Now, what about your setup? How are you setting up on the fish when you troll over them and you see a school of fish there on the ledge? Or are you north south of them, east west of them? Downstream, upstream.
I like to sit down from them. Usually the bait fish are coming from upriver, getting washed over top of them. So that's mainly set up down from them.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, have you ever set up like and let's just say of course current north south or south uh from north to south, but have you ever set up like a east west position?
Yeah, I mean it's all about angles. You got to show them something different every now and then,
Right.
and
Right.
um, yeah, I mean you just got to mess around and experiment with them and see what they want.
Yeah.
Well, there you go, guys. I mean, you've heard it from Carter. That's hey, boat position is a huge factor in it, and for the guys that's out there that's struggling like me on ledge fishing, I'll be the first one to admit I'm horrible when it comes to ledge fishing, but boat position matters, and just get out there and take your time and learn the game, and take what Carter just said to what he just said, and put it to practice. I mean, you only gonna get better if you only try it. I mean,
Yeah.
so um, with that being said, I mean, that's like one of my favorite questions, because I'm so bad at ledge fishing. I just want to get out there and beat banks or docks or maybe a secondary point or something like that, or a
Hmm.
little creek channel, or but when it comes to ledges, man, I'd almost just rather somebody beat me in the head with a bat. I don't know. It is so hard for me to ledge fish. But my brother, he's good at it, but man, it's so hard for me to do it.
Yeah, man, it can be super tough, but it can be very rewarding.
Right.
When it goes right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, both of y'all and Banks with the big only, and Banks, what was it? Not too long ago, where he done y'all done like a drawing and stuff to where he took somebody out on the water.
Yeah,
Um, so are y'all going to do that? If that's one of y'all or Banks, are y'all going to do that again?
yeah, for sure. We're gonna do several different things like that. Drawings or giving away fishing trips and stuff like that. To help promote bigs only and to support them. They've been sponsor of me and Dylan and Banks since the very beginning, and it's a amazing company, and they've got a amazing product, and
Yeah.
we like to do cool things like that to help support them.
Heck yeah. And that's and that right there, I mean, is I thought was pretty cool that Banks done that, and I was like, I wonder, and I hadn't seen anything else on it. if y'all are going to do it again, because I mean that's a one heck of an opportunity. I mean that's once in a lifetime deal for whoever gets to fish in the boat with y'all or Banks, and so, but
Yeah,
again,
we've actually had some things lined up that kind of fell through that
right.
we were gonna do, but
Mm.
hopefully
So
soon something will happen.
right,
Yeah.
and um, it's kind of speaking of sponsors. Can you kind of tell us, because we know that if it wasn't for the sponsors, that I mean, to be able to do fishing as a professional, I mean, it would be tough without sponsors. And so,
Oh yeah.
can you talk about your and tell us like your sponsors and stuff, and then kind of the like if it's a bait, kind of tell us maybe like what's your favorite bait or the bait that you're using right now from them that you really enjoy.
Yeah, so me and Dylan have a bunch of sponsors. Um, we've got Bigs Only, Pure Fishing, which is Berkeley, Abu, Plano, Fenwick, several other brands. Singing River Toyota, Camus Boats is huge. We've got Sea Clear Power, Windmill Beverages, Sims Fishing, um, Pro Guide Batteries. Um, and maybe a couple more. I think that's mostly all of them. But up here on the St. Lawrence, I've been catching a bunch of smallmouth, and the Berkeley Maxent is incredible for smallmouth and really incredible for all fish. We just
Right.
actually got back. We went to the Berkeley Labs in Spirit Lake, Iowa, and we got to see all their laboratories and all the testing and stuff they do with new baits and stuff. And it was an incredible experience to be able to see kind of how their whole process of what they do, making baits and making new formulas for soft plastics and whatnot, and even for fishing line. I didn't even realize how much testing and stuff they do for fishing line there. And we walk in and they've just got an entire wall of like every single kind of fishing line that they make on the market, and they test everything, and to try and make the most premier product on the market. And
Right.
I think they're doing a great job at that. The Maxent stuff. Obviously everybody knows Maxent flatworm is incredible for
Incredible.
smallmouth.
Yeah.
And we've got to kind of play around with some prototype baits that are coming out, and they've been working quite well. Um, and as well as the Lab series, the new series that they came out with. They've got the flatworm, they have a finesse worm, and then the minnow. And
Mhm.
all three are incredible products and incredible baits to use, and it kind of is a collaborative effort between every kind of formula and product that they have, with their scent lines. They've got Power Bait, Maxent, as well as the Maxent Rapid Release Slime. And it's just a combination of all the different products that they have into one product. And it's an incredible lure. And, those guys are way too smart uh, for me to understand what they were telling me, but they were
Right.
they were saying a
Right.
lot of science stuff, and it sounded pretty smart.
Yeah. Hey, Pappy, he is definitely from my neck of the woods because I understood everything what he was saying.
So Carter, and maybe you can speak for Dylan, off the boat, fishing. The rods are in the locker. What are some of the things that you like to do other than that you take pleasure in doing, other than just fishing? Maybe just kind of resetting yourself, and stuff like that.
Yeah, we both like to bass fish, and that's kind of our main thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Other than that, not really much. We've kind of taken into golf a little bit recently,
Oh yeah.
um, but I mean, really just fishing. We'll fish for other things, crappie or. We were on Lake Champlain about 2 weeks ago, and I got into some lake trout, and I think that
Oh man.
if I could find a professional lake trout series, I think I would quit bass fishing and do that. I mean, it was a lot of fun.
Was it?
Um, yeah, we ate lake trout several nights we were there, and it was very very good. And there, man, those fish are so aggressive and they fight really really hard, and it was a blast catching those. But
I can imagine.
yeah,
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, other than bass fishing, just fishing for other things and
So what about
uh,
saltwater? What's your favorite thing in saltwater?
ooh, so I have not gotten. Me and Dylan both have not gotten much experience saltwater fishing at all. We used to go to the beach quite a bit, and we every now and then would go on some, you know, offshore trips, catching
Mm-hmm.
red snapper and whatnot. But last year I got to go with Trip Berlinski to Mexico, and we
Mm.
went bill fishing. We went fishing for sailfish, and that was so much fun. I mean,
Oh, I bet.
those things. I mean, it was so much fun watching them come up and destroy our baits
Yeah.
and fighting them. You'd have one jumping 100 yards off the back of the boat, and that was a lot of fun. But that's about the extent of my saltwater fishing.
Yeah.
I would have to say my snook, man. I caught about a 6 pound snook a couple years back when we took a little tour or a guide
Hmm.
trip, and you want to talk about powerful. I mean, it's amazing how strong them fish are. I mean,
Yeah.
heck, even the 4 pounder I caught, I mean, it put up a fight like I ain't never had before, and I was just like, dang, man, these guys do it on a regular out here. I couldn't
Yeah.
imagine. I mean, just
Yeah, I'd forgotten. Me and Dylan actually we went with Trip snook fishing last year during ICAST,
oh
and that
yeah,
was awesome too. I mean, it's like a bigger, more aggressive bass, pretty much.
yeah,
It
yeah,
was so much fun catching them
yeah.
around the mangroves and
Oh yeah,
trying to pull them out. I mean, that was fun.
yeah, yeah.
Now, are y'all speaking of ICAST? Are y'all going to be at ICAST?
We are. Yep.
So, we're going to be down there as well, and I'll uh, I'll shoot y'all a message and stuff like that to see to where maybe we can do an interview with you or something like that while
Yeah.
we're down
Heck
there.
yeah.
And um, so talking, kind of going back to a couple questions ago, and you said where y'all had said that y'all just like to bass fish. That's what y'all do. To even
Hmm.
away from the tournaments, y'all are still getting out on the boat and doing some bass fishing. Um, have have you know or have have you noticed the fact like the younger anglers, like let's say the collegiate anglers or even the younger guys in the pro series, that is starting to be more typical of the younger anglers to where 365, that's what they're doing is bass fishing, to where like some of the older anglers, they, as soon as it's deer season, they're in the woods doing some hunting, or when it's turkey season, they're going and getting some turkey. Have you noticed that that's kind of the trend with the younger anglers, that they're 365 days they're out on the boat doing some kind of fishing?
100%. With the growth of youth and high school fishing as well as college fishing, it's created such an atmosphere where, you know, there's so many young anglers that are completely obsessed with bass fishing, and that's all they want to do, and they want to be the best at it, and to be able to get to the pro level, you've got to put in that time, and so
Yeah,
there's so many people that are doing that, and it just makes it to where you know a lot of the professionals, they're having to work their tail off to not get their spot taken by a younger person.
yeah,
Hmm.
And that's just something that's going to continue to expand within the
yeah,
sport just because of the growth of youth fishing. Um, and yeah, I mean, it's just like any other sport. I mean, in the football, there's so many young studs that are coming up. If the older guys are not on top of their game, they're going to get their spot taken.
yeah.
And it's no different in fishing.
Yeah, and that's one thing. I mean, because we have each week we have a special guest come on, and and we've been doing this for almost 5 years. And it seems like each year, as it goes on, that whoever we have, they're like, this rookie class has been the best rookie class that we have ever seen. And then the next year comes around, and they're like, this rookie class this year has been the best thing that we've ever seen. Um, but what is it with? I mean, because kids are being able to like fish tournaments like the adult juniors and stuff like that, and then move up to high school, and then the into to the collegiate. What is the best part of being able to kind of fish high school and that collegiate, and have somebody else on the boat that is to where you can kind of run things back and forth with?
Yeah, so I would say the best part. So like the best part about high school fishing is you get to learn a lot regionally, right? So like
Right.
for us, we fished a lot in Tennessee. So we fished. There was 5 different regions in Tennessee. There was the West, North Central, South Central, Southeast, and then the state. And we fished 4 of those regions. We didn't fish the West much, but we fished all the rest of the regions. And so it kind of gave us the opportunity to be able to explore all the different Tennessee waters and learn a lot about different bodies of water. Because Tennessee has a lot to offer,
Mm.
whether in highland reservoirs or rivers or different kinds of lakes. There's a lot to offer in Tennessee. And then college fishing, we got to take that experience and then put it on more of like a nationwide trail. So we got to go to all kind of different lakes all across the country fishing college. And so it was kind of just like those building blocks, where we kind of got comfortable fishing different kind of lakes and stuff within Tennessee, and then we were able to expand all the knowledge that we gained in that in college fishing. And a big thing for us was in high school we never got to fish with live scope at all, so we got pretty comfortable fishing different kind of lakes without scope and learning how to catch them, and then applying a lot of the things that we learned to fishing with live scope through college fishing, going across the country. It just, made all the learning a lot quicker, and we got to experience a lot more things through college fishing, and it was an incredible learning experience.
Heck yeah, and that's we we've had um, quite a few of the collegiate anglers come on, and one of them, which is a local guy to us, Logan Evans. I don't know if you know Logan,
Yeah, I
and
fished against him in high school. Yeah.
he said the coolest thing for him with fishing in collegiate was the fact that one of the persons that he fished with was from up north. I can't remember where, but he was able to kind of bounce things off when it came to smallmouth or fishing reservoirs that were similar to up north. That
Hmm.
he was able to learn things, and then he was able to do the same thing when it come to like river systems and the TVA and stuff like that. He said that was probably one of the biggest things that helped him out.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say that's definitely probably one of the things that me and Dylan kind of lacked on throughout college fishing in high school was getting to fish with people that, come from a different background and
Right.
have a different mentality about it, because we've grown up together, obviously, and fished the same waters. But yeah, that's a great thing about college fishing is, getting able to connect with people from all across the country who just love bass fishing and, getting to experience different things and, seeing how different people approach different scenarios differently. It's just a great learning experience. And,
Yeah.
I've gotten to travel the country with my best friends for the past 4 years, and it's been just an absolutely incredible experience that I wouldn't trade for anything.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Now, we had 3 weeks ago, we had Wesley Strader on. And so this whole month of June, we've done an MLF takeover. So each week we had anglers from the MLF. And so we we asked Wesley if he could ask the Nutt brothers one question, what would it be? And so he did not hesitate. He started laughing and he says, I got one question that I want y'all to ask. And his question is, how many girls have y'all tricked with one of them dating one and actually the other one going and out on a date with that person?
I plead the fifth.
That was fast.
So he and he told us, he says, I expect an answer from y'all when y'all get
Well,
the
there it
answer.
is.
So
There it is.
I'm just gonna have to text him and say they plead the fifth.
Yeah, yeah. That was fast, buddy.
So yeah,
No answer needed when you say that.
yeah, yeah. So, but we've had you almost for an hour, and we don't want to hold you up for too much longer. Um, but we have a question that we ask everybody that comes on, and we kind of wish that Dylan was here to be able to kind of to answer the question as well. But Pappy, you want to take it away, brother?
If there's one person that you or Dylan, maybe you can answer for him as well, but that you could have on the boat, whether they be here with us today or maybe passed on, who would that person be and why?
Oh, my grandfather for sure. I mean, he passed away in 2017, and he was the one who sparked our love for the outdoors. Um, and he was such an amazing mentor to us, in life, in the outdoors, and I would give anything for him to be able to be here today to see what we've accomplished and to be able to experience it with us. I mean, if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have wouldn't have been able to be where we are today. And I mean, that's definitely for me and Dylan both. Our
Yeah.
grandfather.
Yeah, yeah. And the thing is because that would totally be my answer as well. But my grandfathers, both of them, they passed away before like really the technology really kind of. I mean, one of them passed away right after side scan and stuff like that, and it would have just
Uh-huh.
blown his mind with the side scan. But to see how people are catching bass now compared to when he was around and going fishing and stuff like that, I think that it would totally blow their minds of how uh, fish are being caught these days.
Oh, 100%. And I mean,
Oh yeah.
I think they're around and they're witnessing what's happening. I mean, it's it's incredible the evolution of technology, in all different aspects of life, and including fishing, and it's going to continue to evolve. Um, but it's incredible, and
Yeah.
I don't really know how much more high tech it can get in the fishing world. I mean, I feel like if we go anywhere any farther than where we're at, it's kind of going to be pretty crazy. But I'm curious to see what the electronics companies come up with next.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah. Yeah.
because they're going to come up with something. It's always something. Um,
Yep.
and with you being up there at the St. Lawrence, and so what are you predicting that you're going to have to be able to win the tournament up there?
So I'm fishing the Toyota here in the end of July, beginning of August. Um, so it's quite a ways out, the tournament that
Yeah.
I'm fishing out here. I'm kind of more just fishing for fun right now out on the lake, which we're not allowed to go to the lake. With that being said, I've never been to the river before. I think we're going to go do some night fishing tonight, actually, out on the river,
Oh heck yeah.
Oh,
which
heck
I'm
yeah.
very excited for. I think that's going to be very good. Um, but I don't know. I mean, it usually always takes, in a 3-day tournament, probably close to 80 pounds.
Yeah.
So I'd probably say about 80 pounds in 3 days.
Yeah. Man, what We have Roy said, and this will be our last question of it. But what is your biggest 5 fish bag?
I'd have to think about that. I think right at 40, about 39 and three quarter, I believe.
Golly, 8 pound average.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. It was pretty magical. Me and Dylan actually we had right at 37 on Chickamauga one time, uh, which was pretty special. It was
Mm-hmm.
uh, all on a big spoon and a crankbait. That was
oh
ignorant.
man, man,
Um, but yeah, Dylan's had a bigger five fish bag than I have. I believe his biggest was 40, 42, maybe,
golly, that's crazy.
maybe bigger.
Crazy.
I'm not 100%.
Yeah.
I'd be lying if I said I knew. But
Yeah,
yeah, up 40 something for
yeah,
Dylan.
man, that is crazy. That's some heavy weights. But
Yeah.
so Carter, man, thank you so much, brother, and man,
Of
congratulations
course.
on this year that you have had, and Dylan, and tell him that the same thing. And man, we appreciate both of y'all coming on and taking an hour out of your time just to come hang out with two flunkies wanting to talk some fish with some people. And we deeply appreciate it. And man, we're stoked to see what's to come with the Nutt Brothers here and in the future, because I see big things happening. And so, I mean, I'd like to be able to see uh, the Nutt Brothers be Red Crest champions and the Bassmaster Classic champions, and just take MLF and Bassmasters and just show them who the Nutt Brothers are.
Yeah.
Man, I appreciate y'all having us. This has been an incredible time. And if only Dylan was still here. I think his
He's
phone died. He was a little.
Yeah.
yeah.
He's not the brightest. He probably didn't realize he needed his phone to be charged. But you'll have that.
Yeah, we'll make sure we clip that one.
Yeah.
So, Carter, we will see you here in a couple weeks down in Orlando at ICAST, and guys, stay tuned with us on that, and we'll get a video out with the Nutt Brothers. And while you're down there, Carter, make sure you go down to the Everglades and smash some peacocks. So.
Heck yeah, I've always wanted to.
So, but guys, next week we have another guy that's local to Chattanooga, Jared Sullivan with Copper Red Baits. We're going to have him on, and we're going to talk a little bit about a tackle box and some baits that they have and stuff like that. But guys, we appreciate everything that you have done, and make sure you go to the decktalkpodcast.com, and with our salute to valor, we and fill out that form to where we can honor our veterans and soldiers and stuff like that. But Pappy, you got anything?
Carter, I really appreciate you coming on, brother. Hey, now it's your turn to hoist up that Ray Scott trophy. So let's get it.
Heck yeah.
So, all right, guys, we will see you next week, and remember, God loves you as if you were the only person in this world to love, and we will see you next week, guys.
See you, buddy.
See y'all.